That's right. It's post-Christmas time, which means we can't say Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's
So we're
post-Christmas.
I'm gonna spout gibberish.
Well, we can do our New Year's celebration. This is a New Year's episode.
Happy New Year's.
Yeah. Hey, is my vision getting a little better? Because I'm starting to see 2020.
No.
Don't like that one?
No.
All right. Anyway, this is the protagonist seat. I'm
Is it?
Alex.
I am supposedly Ian, or maybe I'm a doppelganger. Who knows?
We are not doppelgangers.
We are not doppelgangers.
Anyway, this is the protagonist seat. This is a podcast where we talk about anime, and it's getting kind of lonely in here because there's not too much anime to talk about.
List is getting pared down, and not by us.
Yeah.
It's just things are ending.
Yeah, so next week we will do our awards.
Yes.
And the last awards of the decade.
Remain excited for that. We're gonna give out our best girl awards, our best boy awards, our best pro tag awards, our best OP awards, our best ED awards.
And we are also planning on doing a top 10 of the year.
Yes.
Not the decade, because we haven't been doing this for the whole decade, and that would just feel disingenuous.
Yeah, I don't even know what I would put on my top 10 list for the decade.
I could do it. I think I've watched more this decade than he has, but
yes, yeah. I would say that's fairly certain. Because, like, anything I would put on my list has probably come out in the last couple of years.
Yeah, so we're just doing this year.
Yeah, so we're doing this year. But it's still a top 10, and people love that shit. So
it's still content, so stay tuned for content.
Hashtag more content.
Anyway, Fire Force, the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, we got 2 episodes to talk about. Basically, the fight between Sho and Shinra concludes.
Yeah, you want to know how he beats him? He just floods him with memories. Here, take all my memories.
Take all my memories.
And Sho's just like, you are my big brother, and cries.
And then Shinra rematerializes on the end of his sword, which was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
It was not a smart move. Because, see, folks, when you break your body apart into particles and then you travel through time, make sure that you aren't rematerializing on sharp objects. Or objects in general.
Yeah,
just don't
anything.
do it. Just don't do
Oh,
it.
imagine if he materialized on a person.
He rematerialized on Sho and just destroyed both of them. But basically shows him a whole lot of memories like, haha, this is us with Mom, and we were happy, and we were smiling, and this was me being a good bro to you, and I'm saving you from the darkness.
And then
now let's go.
Yeah, then after he ends up on the sword, and then the chick who looks like she has a crown in front of her face pops up.
Weird psycho girl.
Yeah, and so she instantly, like, it looks like she brainwashes Sho with, like, almost like a snap.
She zaps him with lightning and brainwashes his mind.
Yeah.
She controls his brainwaves.
It seems like she, like, can puppeteer things through, like, her lightning. But then Arthur shows up, and she has trouble fighting him because I guess plasma interferes with electrical waves.
I think it's because plasma is so hot. Like, plasma is the next step up from lightning, pretty much. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But in any case, her mind control doesn't work on him, and it starts getting all fucky, and she's like, I gotta fight you now.
But then Obi, like, knocks down a pillar.
The rest of the 8th shows up.
Everyone comes to help, but then an earthquake gets triggered.
Yeah.
And the evangelists seem to know all about that.
They're like, the evangelist is causing those. Let us exposit our plan. We're going to gather Adola bursts so we can remake the Great Cataclysm.
Yeah.
Because fuck it, why not?
Turns out they're a doomsday cult. They're just crazy.
They are crazy doomsday folks whose leader is Satan from another dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so they have to essentially, they can't go after them. They have to escape because Shinra is in real bad condition.
Turns out getting stabbed through the chest by a sword sucks, so they got to bring him to the hospital.
Yeah, they go to the 6th, and apparently the 6th is
a hospital.
Yeah, it's a hospital.
Because, like, you can't give people last rites on non-hollowed ground or whatever without hollowed stuff. So they were just like, fuck it, we'll just make the 6th part of the church so it's a hospital and part of the church, la tombe, etc.
And they have the captain of the 6th look at him, and apparently she's got like healing powers with this weird snake fire thing that she does.
She has super healing snake powers. It like goes into their body and it reconstructs their shit, and it uses their flame to make them heal faster. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but fuck it, it's cool looking.
Yeah, nothing's starting to make sense with how powers work anymore. It's just...
Nothing makes sense.
It can just do it.
Everyone can just do things, whatever.
And then he recovers, and then at the end of the episode, the captain of the First shows up.
And he's like, you think you're tough enough for the truth? You gotta fight me. You can't handle the truth. And Shinra's like, I can handle the truth. I'm gonna fight you. And they do that in the next one.
And then the next episode, he goes back to the 8th, and everything's all good. He's back with his buddies.
Everyone's cheery. All the people, all our friends we've met so far are chilling back there, ready for a celebration.
And then we cut to what actually happened during the fight, and it's him and the commander going at it. And you know what? The commander's pretty cool.
He's got a dope-ass power.
Yeah, he essentially just makes himself super hot.
He goes super hot. Super hot. And I guess he just uses that to fight. He's got good hand-to-hand combat skills, and he's super hot, and it's really cool.
And Shinra is actually able to wound him in the fight, which makes him realize, all right, I guess, because I didn't want to tell you in the past because,
you were weak and you would
weren't
get
ready.
Yourself killed.
But now, you're ready.
Now you're ready for the truth.
And apparently, it was the evangelists, no surprise, that caused the fire at his house.
Figures. And not only just the evangelists, it was creepy crown girl that we've met earlier.
And she's way younger in this, and even creepier just because of how young she is.
Yeah. Turns out she was always a weird sociopath.
Yeah. So, actually, I don't even think they caused it. It's just Sho receiving the Adola burst essentially causes it.
Yeah, because Sho goes like supernova, super hot, and makes everything on fire.
And we find out that the demon, that this was actually a really done like horrific scene where the demon that Shinra wanted to go after, and the one that he even saw when he had his like weird hallucination to like the Hell Realm with like the horns over its eyes.
That's his mom.
Yep, that's his mom.
So it turns out she infernalized during the fire, and she like pulls the horns on her head down into her eyes.
Yeah, because she looked upon the evangelist, and apparently the evangelist mentioned that the reason that they all wear blindfolds is because if you stare into the sun, you'll go blind.
So yeah, don't look at the evangelist or you will... bad shit
Unless
happens.
you have the Adola burst, because Sho and Shinra can do it. Yeah. But apparently, at one point, we find out the
captain of the First.
Yeah, that's why he has the eye patch. He actually like burned out his eye looking at it.
The price for running into that fire and trying to save those kids and everyone was him losing his eye. Which, you know what? That's kind of neat. That's cool.
So, yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Shinra's mom, because he asks the captain, he's like, I never saw her after the fire, because he didn't kill her, she got away.
Yeah, she runs away and flees, so she's technically still out there. And Shinra's got a new goal. He's got to figure out how to uninfernalize people.
And he still has to save his brother.
Yeah. And he still has to save Sho. I like the scene where everyone's getting together, mostly because I really like Benny Morrow during that scene.
Yeah, at the end they have a sort of like a welcome back party for Shinra from getting discharged from the hospital.
We're all having a fun party.
And everyone shows up, that all the characters we've seen so far, like the captain of the 5th, the guys from the 1st besides the captain.
Yeah.
And of course the captain and vice captain from the 7th.
Yep. And Benny Maru shows up, and he's like, I brought sake. And she's like, dude, Maki's like, dude, you can't.
Shinra's not even old enough to drink. And he's like, I brought it for the adults.
I brought it for those who can. Do you want one? And he like turns, and he's got this super beautiful face.
Yeah, he goes super bishi, and she's just like, okay. And then after Arthur's like,
do you want some sake?
Yeah, Arthur's even like, are you even old enough to drink? You want to, like, aren't you an underage gorilla?
And she's like, don't call me a gorilla Cyclops. And she punches the shit out of him. Because of course she does. Because any slights against Maki are always just instantly transformed into Gorilla Cyclops.
Yeah.
I want to know where that came from.
And they're going to try to meet with the captain of I believe he's the captain of the 4th?
Yes. Basically, one of the lieutenant of the 6th is related to the captain of the 4th, and Shinra figures it out because she has glasses too.
Yeah.
That's it. They don't look anything alike. They just have similar glasses. So I guess they must be related. And turns out he's her grandfather. So cool.
And that's going to be the next arc, which isn't going to come out till summer 2020.
Yeah.
Because this is getting a season 2.
Yep. So
and you know what? Everything with I'd say this episode was done incredibly well with the horror, like the horror aspect of the. Like, the mom thing was actually genuinely, unsettling.
It was very unsettling.
Like, the imagery in this has gotten just really well done.
I don't know why they had such toned-down imagery in the first half. It's almost disappointing.
Like, the cinematography and everything is great, too.
Yeah, it's so good. One of my favorite things about the Shinra and Sho fight is how they do Sho's time stop. Is he just... There's not really a sound effect or anything. He just appears behind Shinra and just, beats the shit out of him.
Or when people are talking, just kind of... It's not really, just focused on people talking. It'll, be doing something. Where...
The camera's always looking at something.
Yeah, where he's talking with the captain of the 1st, as they're, they're talking about sort of, the darker stuff that happened, it almost has, the shadow of the building kind of looming over them from, the sun moving.
Yeah, there's always something to look at, something interesting to see. It's not... They never really do long static shots of anything, which
and it
is
just
really
helps
good.
That the design of all, the demon mom is just really,
It's very good.
Creepy.
They did a great job with her. She is terrifying. I would be super spooked.
And I also thought, ever since finding out that other world is essentially hell, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Your power comes from hell, and it's hell flames.
And it's pretty cool.
It is.
Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun.
Because Fate Grand Order took another fucking hiatus again.
Yep, that'll be back soon. So, Demon School, Ian didn't watch it this week, so it's all on me.
I had a weird, busy week, and I missed it.
I forget his last name, but, for some reason, the dude in the magic apparatus battler, the one that he's obviously going to join, he ends up joining.
Of course.
And he brings Asmodeus and Clara with him, because of course they're going to join what he's joining.
Yeah, why would the terrible trio not do everything together?
Yeah, but Iruma basically goes and hangs out with him for a little bit, and he finds that the guy has a bunch of, neat little knickknacks that do cool stuff when you put magic into them. And of course, because this guy's super weak, he's like, this little doll moves if you put magic into it. He's like, whoa, that's cool. And then the guy's like, ah! coughing up blood. And he's like, this ball lights up if you put magic into it.
I like how this guy is kind of like, I can't remember his name. Waver's friend from
Case Files.
Case Files.
Yeah.
How he just throws up blood all the time.
He ends up showing Iruma an invention he made that lets him do it's basically for people who don't have a lot of magic.
Okay.
Where he can actually do the thing where the ball lights up, but he doesn't cough up blood this time because it doesn't take too much out of him. And Aruma's basically moved by his whole thing about, I kind of want to get rid of the power gap between people that can use magic and people that can't, because, there's a lot of demons out there that can't, and I want to be able to do something to help them. So Aruma's like, all right, I want to join this guy because he's a good person.
Yeah, I remember him mentioning that earlier, and I thought, that seems like good party material for when he becomes the Demon King.
And I feel bad for Amari, the student council president, who she ends up decorating the entire student council room expecting him to come, and then he doesn't end up going, and she's all upset, and they're like, oh man, the time for battler recruitment's already over. She seems really upset. Well, of course, Asmodeus never came.
I love that everyone thinks it was Asmodeus. Yeah. It's perfect.
Apparently, the guy's name too, I forget his last name, but his first name is Amy. like Amy.
Oh yeah.
Where I'm like, now thinking about it, Asmodeus' first name is Alice. What's with these like super like feminine names?
Demon men just have lady names, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's just how their culture works. I don't know.
And they're all prepping for a big like it's essentially like parent day at school where all like the parents get to come and see their kids in their clubs.
That's great.
And Sullivan is all excited, but he has to attend the night before a dinner with we meet all the most powerful demons in the underworld.
Oh.
And they're all hanging out trying to argue about who should be the next demon lord. So there's the 665th floor, and they're all like, it should be this guy. No, it should be this lady. No, it should be Sullivan. And then the 666th floor, it's Sullivan and 2 other people. And they're like, all right, we've met again. It's time we finally finish this debate. My grandchild is the cutest. No, my grandchild is the cutest. Sullivan, you be the judge as usual. And he's like, actually, I'm no longer the same demon that you've seen before. My grandchild is the cutest. And they're like, how did you skip child and go right to grandchild? And he's like, you didn't steal a kid, did you? He's like, no comment.
That's great. Sullivan is great. I love extra grandpa Sullivan.
And then one of the demons who from the 665th floor comes up and he's like, hey, sorry to bother you, Chairman Sullivan, but we actually have a warrant here for your arrest. And he's like, also, thank you for taking care of my daughter at your school, the student council president.
Oh, shit.
And he's like, we have a evidence here that you've dabbled into the human realm. And he's like, oh, that's a real warrant, huh? He's like, guess I gotta go.
Damn.
And so, yeah, Sullivan gets arrested at the end of this.
No, not Sullivan.
And the whole conflict is he's stuck in jail during parent-teacher day.
Oh, no.
So he doesn't get to see Aruma do all of his battler stuff.
Figures, because freaking he's the... Man, that's some good shit.
And they show in the preview, like, he's there, like, freaking out on, like, the phone talking to, like, Opera. Where he's, like, he has him, like, with, like, cameras and stuff, like, you know, like, to capture everything.
That's great. Man... This show is very enjoyable.
Also, you find out that the 3 older like people, like the 3 elders that everyone wants to be like the Demon King, none of them actually want it. Like the 2 others are like, Sullivan, you should do it, and he's like, I don't want to do that. I have a grandson now.
This show, I gotta say, is remarkably well written because it's just a lot of weird bullshit that I personally haven't seen before. Because, I mean, you've got your normal protagonist in, like, a strange place, but he has his own weird ability that somehow works towards him, and it's evasion.
I also like, I like the hell setting, how, like, hell's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of neat.
It's very PC.
Yeah.
Like, I like PC, very, very pleasant hell. Like, we're really trying to improve hell's image, you know? We're trying to lift people up. We're not putting down demons anymore. We're lifting them up. And how they're just so separate from the human realm, too. Like, they're trying to purposefully...
Humans don't actually exist.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane.
But, yeah, so, yeah, I guess it's going to be a long while, obviously, before we see Aruma become the next Demon King. But, like, you know what's going to happen eventually.
It's part of the plot.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting show.
You know what I'm going to miss? Because we're going to be heading into the second half soon. We're probably going to change the OP. No more boppy, 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 boppy loo.
No more peppy bops.
No more peppy bops.
I'm going to miss it.
So far, this is one of the most, like, I don't know, because I've been getting kind of, like, sick of Battle Shonen. But, like, this has actually been enjoyable.
Yeah. This is, I mean, I don't even know if I would call it a Battle Shonen. It's almost a little bit more like a slice of life.
Yeah. I think that later on there's more.
That would make sense.
Because, like, you know, we haven't unlocked the ring fully.
Yeah, and we're still at the stage where he's kind of figuring out what he wants to do. He doesn't really have too much of a concrete goal yet.
Yeah. Because I don't read the manga. I read, like, the first couple of chapters of the manga back when I heard this was getting an adaptation. I'm like, oh, this is neat. I'll just wait for the rest of it to come out. Yeah. But it's pretty good.
Yeah. You know what else is pretty good?
Yes. Oresuki, but, Yeah,
conditionally,
because I don't like how I have to wait for an OVA to have this finished.
I also think that's bullshit, and it makes me upset because I really want to know how it ends.
Bop, 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 bop. Yeah, maybe we didn't need that recap episode.
No, maybe we didn't. Maybe we could have just had the ending be here, and we could know who wins the popularity contest. I gotta know how Joro wins.
And of course, we open the episode. We find out that Pansy and Sun-chan are dating.
They have agreed to date if Sun-chan can bring the baseball team all to the grand finals.
And then Joro talks to Sun-chan. He's just like, I was just filling the role as the perfect best friend. This was all my plan.
This was all my plan. Now it's your goal. Now it's your duty to be the best friend. You're the best friend now. Get it? Best friend.
And then he realized that he's first mopey about everything because Pansy's like, hey, Joro, I think you should leave the library for a while.
Once again, Pansy is like, hey, maybe you should leave the library for a while.
Yeah, he's all mopey, and then the girl who works at the steak skewer shop is like, Joro, she said leave for a while, not forever.
Best friend girl. Best friend girl. Because holy shit. She's pulling it out this time.
Yeah, the only one that's not, like, competing in the bowl.
I know.
The Joro bowl.
She actually just wants to be friends. She's like, man, I want to help out my buddy Joro.
Yeah.
I'm going to decode this mystery for him.
And then he realizes, oh, Pansy and Sun-chan are working together, and they're just waiting for me to do my part.
They're waiting for me to figure it out and do something. Ah, shit. And then Joro decides to go get off his freaking duff and come up with a plan.
And
what's he gonna do?
He comes up with a very Joro-esque plan, but then it ends up being the absolute worst plan. And in fact, this whole thing is just really dumb. I was sitting there thinking during this, and I'm just like, that's dumb. Why doesn't she just go... No. Why doesn't she just say anything? Just be like, yeah, I like Joro.
Why not make it a popularity contest with one winner? Pansy. Just give the Pansy. Just Pansy, give the thing. Give the clip to who you want, and then it's over. That's it.
Apparently that puts too much pressure on her because she can't be mean to Jose because, you know, he did all those nice things for her. Yeah, he challenges Jose because he's like, hey, Jose, you're my friend, right? Of course. Well, as your friend, I challenge you to a fun game. And he's like, okay, as your friend. I love it. As your friend, I agree. And he's like, okay, if I win, or actually, the loser, they can't talk to Pansy anymore, like ever.
That's pretty extreme there, best friend. Ha ha! I gotcha. Yeah. And you can't back down because you're a good person, so you're honor bound to this challenge. And Jose's like, you know what? That's kind of a dick thing to do, friend. After we do this, I don't think you're going to be my best friend anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think Joro has any issues with that.
And the whole contest is that they're going to wait till the day of the baseball finals.
Because everything has to fucking come around to the baseball finals.
And he gives each of the girls a hair clip.
Because they... Earlier,
Tom Popo has a bunch of hair clips that are just like Pansy's, so they get them from her.
Because she likes Jose as well, because of course she does.
It's basically a popularity contest. Whoever gets more clips on the day of the baseball finals wins.
And who's going to compete?
And the tiebreaker is if whichever one of their schools wins, that person gets an extra clip.
Which is very dangerous, but you know what? Something tells me that Sun-chan is going to pull one out for the team.
He's going to do his part.
He's going to do his part.
But yeah, and Joro is like, he's like in his mind, I came up with this game, so I've already rigged it in my favor. It's perfect for me.
Of course.
And then Cosmos is like,
let's take a second to go over the people who are going to be in this popularity contest. We got the two girls who, of course, are going to vote for Jose because they're in his harem.
Yeah. Then we got Cosmos, Himawari, and Asuno.
All people who are vying for Joro. So Joro has 3 people.
And the thing is, they're not traditional like members of a harem where they're like, we got to think about Joro's happiness. They're like,
no, fuck it. They want their own happiness.
It's like, yeah, if we get rid of Pansy, then we have a better shot at winning.
Of course Pansy's gonna win. She's the clear winner out of all of us. We gotta freaking take out that competition instantly.
And Cosmos is like, Joro, this is a really great idea. Do you mind if we just, vote already? And he's like, well, I guess just you three, that's fine.
Because I know who you're gonna vote for.
And then they all go and give it to Jose, and he's like, what?
Eh.
And they're like, yeah, Joro, so I don't want to be number 2, so each of them confess to him like that. And he's like, hey, I'm really happy about this right now, but the timing could not be worse.
Guys, your timing is a little off. Can we do this, like, later? No.
But Pansy seems, for some reason, not shaken by this.
She's like, I like a little bit of competition.
So, basically, what I'm assuming has to happen is that Joro is going to have to win over the 2 other girls.
Yes, Joro is...
And Sunshan has to win the baseball game.
That's. I think we basically nailed the end of this show.
Yeah.
Joro is somehow going to convince the 2 harem girls that they should be a little bit more selfish, so they don't want Jose to win. And then Sunshan is going to have to pull out some shit.
And then Pansy would be the tiebreaker, and obviously we know who she's going to pick.
We know who Pansy's going to pick.
And then that's it.
Either that or in like a super long shot, they go down to the wire, Joro loses, and Pansy's like, nah, fuck it. They do like, fuck your challenges. We're just going to do it our way anyway.
Yeah.
Which for Joro wouldn't entirely
I actually
surprise
think it
me.
should work that way, just because if it went the traditional, like, yeah, I won way, it wouldn't really feel...
It wouldn't feel like a Joro victory. We
Yeah.
need the skeezy, sleazy Joro victory.
Or just Pansy being like...
What I didn't tell you was Pansy's vote counts for 6 votes. Got him. I won.
Yeah.
But... Man, I want to see the end. I'm salty at the way they did it.
Yeah, because it's Pansy. It's not like...
We know who's gonna win!
It's not like Bokuban or like the quintuplets where it's like, there's some gray area where it's like, hey, maybe it could be... It's like, it's Pansy.
It is not a battle for firsts at all. It is a battle for second.
Like... Cosmos and Himawari were, like, introduced specifically to be the B-girl at the same time, almost.
Yes.
It's like, they're just...
They gave the same speech exactly.
And Asuno came in at, like, episode 6. You don't win coming in that late in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just how it be. But, yeah, we'll watch it when it comes out, but we gotta,
We gotta wait. What the fuck?
Everything's coming back in the summer.
Ugh.
We gotta go through the fucking winter.
We gotta go through the winter. We gotta go through the spring. Guys, come on.
You know what else is over? Didn't I say to make my abilities average in my next life?
I'm sad. I'm sad to see it go.
It got weirdly serious.
It did.
Which felt...
out of place.
Yeah, like, because they had those episodes before, but it was more like...
It fit. I don't know. There's something in the way they did this one where it was like...
The dragons are looking for nukes.
Yeah. You know what? That was a little weird.
That was weird. I'm like, what?
Okay, so basically...
yeah, Mile has the whole, like, inner thing of the...
She's not dead, because of course she's not
She's dying
dead.
and her past selves are there. And they're like, are you just gonna give up?
You gonna lay down and die like a bitch?
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
Like, aren't you guys supposed to be more, like...
supportive? Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's just more, like, kind of depressing to see this is where we ended up.
Yeah.
And then she gets up and she is able to beat the dragon because the nanomachines are all about your mental state.
Because nanomachines.
The nanomachine technology.
She uses the nanomachine technology to absorb latent magic in the area.
And she gets up and she beats the black dragon, and then he's like, ugh, and then 2 other dragons show up, and they're like, well, you getting your ass kicked by, like, a human?
Oh, that's pretty sad, getting your ass kicked by a little girl, and she's like, no, dude, something's fucking up, guys. Something's up.
And then she fucks him up anyway.
And then she wins, because she's Mile.
And
she's the isekai protagonist.
But they let the dragons go.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, we're done. And they're like, what were you doing here? We were excavating the ruins. That's all we wanted to do is research the past civilization. It's like, what are you going to do with that research? I literally cannot tell you, even if I have to fight you again.
If I had to fight you again and die, I would do that before telling you.
So they just leave it at that, and she asks her little nanomachine companion, she's like, do you know what the dragons are looking for? Yes, but that's classified information.
Oh, do you know what do you know exactly anything about this prior civilization? Yes, but that is also classified information.
So Mile goes back with her friends back to town, and also they're like legends now because
they fought fucking 3 elder dragons.
Yeah, so they're all hanging out, and Mile keeps waking up from nightmares about the lost civilization.
Turns out, well, she gets flashes of the dragons looking around, and then they find a nuke. They do it. I don't know if it actually happened, but there's a little vision thing of a dragon
like digging out like a nuclear missile silo,
digging out and there's a missile in it. So the dragons are looking for nukes,
and there are no gods in this world, as she was told when she would enter it. So there's no one that's gonna save the people.
Something a little late to drop on us, to be totally honest.
So she decides that she's gonna go out on her own and go defeat the dragon. So she's sad and leaves everybody, and then she's like, man, it's really dark out. And everyone's like, yeah, it really is. And she looks, and they're all right next to her.
Never thought we'd come back here to the place where we train, the Hunter Academy. Guys, what are you doing? We weren't going to let you do that. We pretended to sleep.
Yeah,
so
you guys were all asleep. Well, we were merely pretending.
I love how Mavis is like, why does everyone always sneak off on their own?
Yeah, I'm the only one who doesn't sneak off. We're friends. Why do friends sneak off?
And I love it.
And they're all like,
true.
Sorry.
Literally everyone else has snuck off or vanished at some point to go do their own thing except Mavis. Mavis is the only true team player, guys. That's why she's best girl.
Mavis is the Barry. No side stuff.
No side stuff.
Anyway, yeah, so it ends basically with them deciding to go look for the Elder Dragons and read the light novel.
Yeah, and go read the light novel, guys. Which, you know what? The show made a pretty compelling argument.
It did. It made a strong argument as to why you should do that.
I am a little bit curious, though, because a lot of the stuff in the show was...
I think the light novel is actually pretty... The English translation of it is pretty far ahead. Like, it doesn't... They didn't just start it. It's been going for a little bit over here. Because I think at Anime New York, I saw they were up to, like, volume, 6 or 7.
I believe so. I'm curious to see how it translates into the light novel, though, because a lot of the stuff in the show is
like
visual gags.
Yeah.
So, like, is there any of those, or is it just kind of like written references? I don't know. I'm curious, but I'm still.
Yeah, I think I'll pick it up, at least the first volume, just to read
check
through
it out.
Pick it up,
flip through it. I like this episode of Africa Salaryman.
You know what? Yeah, it was a fine ending.
And I liked it because I liked Tiger and Panther.
Yeah.
They were very stereotypically evil, and it made me chuckle a couple times to myself.
Yeah, so essentially they're putting together a presentation to get a company to work with their companies, so they're kind of going against each other to try to get the client.
It's for a cinema cafe. Plans for a cinema cafe.
And they go and they essentially threaten Lion. They're like, this guy knows what he did.
He did something truly evil to us.
It's so unspeakable, it not even be named.
And
they ask him to, and they're just like, was it really that bad, Senpai? And he's like,
it was.
I don't blame them for not forgiving me. I knew it was going to be something food-related.
Of course. Something food-related and something relatively minor.
Yeah. But they go back and they work super hard. They stay up all night working on their stuff. Because
they also get an email from the boss that if they don't get the contract, they will be fired. And they don't want that, I guess.
And the honey badger comes by, too, and he's just like, if I keep making noise, you guys aren't even going to be able to get this done. And the boss is just looking in the turtle. He's like, I'm cutting your pay.
No, it was a joke. I was joshing him. Boss. I was joshing him. And the little shit-eating bird comes by, too, and he's like, I see you're miserable.
Yeah, we're going to throw a goodbye party. And then they throw him out the window.
Toucan yeets him into the stratosphere, and it's great.
And they end up, they're at work, and they're spending the entire night there working, and they're just like, well, we finished in only 5 hours till the meeting. Yeah, we should get a nap before then.
Get in some Z's before the big presentation.
And no one set a phone alarm, apparently.
I guess they don't have those in Africa.
Yeah, even though they got cell phones.
They get smartphones.
Yep.
Toucan has several.
Yeah, Toucan falls asleep in the trash.
Lizard falls asleep on some chairs.
And Lion at his desk. And then they all wake up. Well, Toucan wakes up first and he realizes, oh shit, we are cutting it close.
We are gonna be late.
Yeah.
And they all scramble with all their stuff. They get into a cab and they're like, I like how Toucan's like, does this cab have nitrous in it? Can't you warp us there?
Yeah.
And the cab driver's like,
I'm going as fast as I can.
I'm doing everything.
And then they get to the place and they're all like, kind of unprofessional that they're late to this.
And then it's like two little dogs are the clients, and they're like, now, they were still technically on time.
Like, in our adult society, it's only acceptable to be at least 10 minutes early.
Which does feel very Japanese salaryman.
Yeah. And then they do the thing it comes down to is that Tiger and Leopard, they didn't do their presentation. They had their cronies do it.
Yeah.
Their corporate drones.
And you know what? The clients didn't like that. The clients wanted a presentation with more
passion,
fire. Give us a passion project. Give us something you really feel about. And you know what? Africa Trading, they provided that.
And so they picked them.
Yeah.
And then as they're heading outside, they finally find out what it was that happened between Big Cat and Tiger and Leopard.
It's fucking flan.
Yeah, flan. He ate their flan in college.
He ate their flan. And they were real salty about it. They were really looking forward to it.
Because it went out of business, the company. But then it went back in business, Toucan pulled out. And they're like, oh.
Toucan looks it up on his phone. He's like, actually, they're back in business.
And Big Cat's like, I'll just treat you guys to it sometime. And they're like, man, I don't even know why we were that mad about that.
Mad about flan. That's ridiculous. And he's like, I'll buy you 10. I'll buy you each 10.
And then everything's all good. They go back. They have a big celebration for scoring the client. And then Toucan does a bad joke where he's like, oh, hang on, it's the client. And he's like, what, you're not going to go through the deal after all?
And everyone loses their shit because this is a very big deal.
And the boss is like, hundreds of yen or millions of yen down the drain.
And he's like, gotcha.
And like Lizard's like, learn the difference between a good joke and a bad one.
Everyone is pissed.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And that's how we end. No guns, Laifu.
No guns, Laifu.
So this is gonna be 2 core, but the other core is not coming until probably summer, because that's where everything is coming back.
So this,
or actually probably spring, I think. I don't know. It's coming back later.
Yeah. So this is it for a bit. He fights a ghost, but of course it's not a ghost.
As this episode started, I knew right away. I'm like, there's
no such thing as fucking ghosts.
It turns out the real ghosts were the friends our dad made along the way.
Yeah. Turns out it was the dude, the client, which I just want to point out a couple issues I had with this plan. Instead of hiring like a tough guy thug to fight a ghost, you hired a fucking private detective. You hired the one person whose job it is to unravel lies and falsehoods, to guard your daughter against your own lies and falsehoods.
Also, isn't he you have control over the entire thing. Isn't he a little more overly qualified for this?
Yeah.
Do you really need a guy who's essentially a war machine to do this?
You know what? Who knows?
But yeah, so Mary and Juzo go, and Juzo immediately is like, man, he's like, kind of fishy that a ghost leaves like footprints outside.
And the client's like, yeah, I know, right? I know it's not a ghost. It's just like some creeper hanging around. And he's like, huh.
And the girl is terrified of Juzo because she hates extensions.
Turns out the girl's whole story is that she was in a car accident that she believed was caused by an extended...
Because there's a hand that came through the window at her. And it turns out these hands end up attacking Juzo.
Yeah, because they're trying to save her, which we learn later. But she also loses her leg in the accident, and she doesn't get extensions because she's afraid of them, and she's all like, no.
And she's talking to Mary, and then Mary talks to her about, that pendant that she's wearing. She's like, yeah, it's really important. My dad gave it to me, a day before he was killed.
But it's real ugly, so I don't know why he would give me such a funny thing.
And then immediately the Danny, the father's friend, opens the door. He's like, hey, we gotta go real quick. And
yeah, we gotta leave right now,
and
actually.
Juzo comes in and he unravels the whole thing. He's like, hey, kind of suspicious that all your entire story is kind of BS. Also, you bugged this room.
Yeah, so that's weird. What's going on with that, bud? He's like, and then the girl steps in because of course she is.
And she's like,
I would never believe an extended. You're a monster.
And then she leaves with him, and then he's like, hey, I'm glad you decided to trust me. And then she pulls a gun on him, and she's just like, she stole his gun.
I don't. And I guess she didn't put her seatbelt on.
Yeah, so he just basically, like, stops the car real abruptly and, like, turns so she falls over.
Guys, if anyone has a gun to your head in the back of your car and they don't have their seatbelt on, just slam on the brakes and cut the wheel real hard.
Yep, and he reveals that he was going to sell the information on extendeds to Spitsbergen, and her dad
proves that they're dangerous.
And her dad was like, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't sell to terrorists." And he was like, "What a weirdo! Gotta kill him."
But they pay the best. Duh. I guess I'll just have to kill him and do it myself.
Now I gotta kill his daughter because she knows too much. But then, of course, Juzo and Mary show up on a speeder bike that they learned about earlier in the episode that the family had.
Yes, the Deus Ex Machina bike that we learned about earlier.
It's super fast, but it's broken now.
Because it's so, like, the engine on it is so powerful that they've been known to destroy themselves by overheating, which Mary says they only made 5 of these. I can understand why.
Yeah.
If that's how they're going, I wouldn't want that in my military.
But yeah, Juzo beats this guy, like, instantaneously because, he's just a regular dude. He just punches him in the stomach and he's out. Yeah,
it turns out the large war machine with a revolver for a head punches a man once.
And the police show up because obviously this guy was connected to Spitsbergen, and he ends up taking the data that, the guy was after because...
Luckily, he announces it to the police around him.
So everyone knows, but he does that essentially to protect the girl so no one comes after her again.
Yeah. Once again, Juzo paints a target on his own back to save someone else.
Because that's why Juzo's awesome.
Juzo's great.
Juzo's the best.
Juzo's just like, come at me, because I can fight all of you guys. I am a war machine.
I know for sure I'm going to be watching the second half when it comes out.
Me too.
Tell me the rules. Tell me the fools. Game over.
Game over.
Shoot your gun.
No guns life. Hard boiled. The gun smoke drifts. Muzzle falls. The greatest show.
Good shit.
Very
strong show this season.
Yeah, we got a lot of good shows this season. I think we lucked out.
And it's not as especially clear as previous seasons what our, like, big winner is.
I know, right?
Because you knew last season it was Machikado Mazoku.
For the most part, you guys know what we're going to pick.
I don't even know what I'm going to pick this year.
I don't even know what I'm going to pick. There's a lot of real strong stuff.
Yeah, this season's, like, up in the air.
Ooh, how exciting.
Tell us your pick for this season.
Let us know who your favorite girls were, who your favorite or what your favorite shows were. Let us know what you thought about this stuff. If
every category this season is really hard for me besides Best Boy.
Yeah.
I know who I'm picking. I'm not going to tell you, but I think you know.
Is it going to be Sun-chan?
No.
No?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. We'll see. Stay tuned.
Yep, so if you want to find out who our picks for this season are, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Where we post all of our videos. We post a lot of other series as well.
And that's where our top 10 for 2019 will be.
Yes. So if you're looking forward to that, check it out on our YouTube channel. If you're more in tune for just taking your podcast on the go, taking your protagonist seat wherever you want.
Yes, we have options for that.
Yes, we are on iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, what's the Google one? Google Play Music. We're on all that good stuff, so you can download us to whatever device you want, your phone, your toaster, your Samsung smart fridge.
And this isn't even a joke. You can do all these things now. Technology is weird. You can watch TV on your fridge.
You actually can. No Guns Life is now.
Yeah, No Guns Life is now.
No Guns Life is now.
There we go, episode title.
Exactly. You know what?
No Guns Life is now.
That's a good one.
Also, we're on social media, Twitter and Facebook at Protagonist Seat.
We post regular updates to our stuff there whenever we upload it.
Yep,
and
so
if
you'll
we
know
have
when everything's posted.
And if we have any other things, various updates, stuff like that, you can also keep tuned to our Protagonist Seat news on our social media.
So we will see you next time for all the good stuff.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there.
Adios.
Goodbye.